In a world filled with constant noise, fleeting conversations, and surface-level connections, finding someone who truly sees you, beyond appearances, beyond roles, beyond words, is rare. Even rarer is when a man doesn't just like you, but is emotionally drawn to you. This isn't about grand declarations, flashy gifts, or perfect social media posts. No, this is quieter, deeper, more meaningful. It's in the way he leans in when you speak, the way he senses your mood before you even say a word, and how his actions begin to reflect a heart tethered gently but firmly to yours. The truth is, men don't always express their emotions openly. Society often teaches them to stay guarded, to show strength, to avoid vulnerability. So when a man starts revealing his emotions not through loud confessions, but through subtle, consistent signs, it's worth paying attention to. You'll see it in how he remembers the smallest details you mentioned in passing, how he rearranges his world, even just a little, to make room for you, how he lets you into parts of his life that he rarely shows anyone else. Emotional connection is the foundation of something lasting. It goes beyond attraction, beyond chemistry. It's what makes someone want to stay when things get hard. It's what makes conversations flow even in silence. And when a man is emotionally drawn to you, you won't need to beg for affection or clarity. He may not say "I love you" just yet, but his every move will speak louder than words. This list isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's not about decoding mixed signals or obsessing over texts. It's about recognizing genuine emotional intimacy, the kind that builds trust, respect, and long-term compatibility. These 15 signs are not based on what he says in the moment, but what he shows over time. His actions, his consistency, his presence. These are the quiet truth that reveal the depth of his heart. So if you've ever wondered whether the man in your life feels something more, something deeper than what words can express, this is for you. These aren't just signs that he likes you. These are the signs that he's emotionally drawn to you. And if you recognize them, you may already be closer to his heart than you think. Let's begin. 1. He remembers the little things you say. When a man is emotionally drawn to you, one of the clearest signs is that he remembers the little things you say. Not just the big moments or obvious details, but the quiet, passing comments that most people might forget. This shows he's not just listening to respond. He's listening to understand, connect, and cherish what matters to you. Maybe you mentioned your favorite childhood snack in a casual conversation weeks ago, and suddenly one day he surprises you with it. Or you shared how a certain song makes you feel calm, and he plays it for you during a stressful moment. These aren't grand gestures for show. They're intimate responses to small details that touched him because they came from you. This kind of memory doesn't come from obligation. It comes from genuine interest and emotional investment. He pays attention not because he has to, but because he wants to. Your words linger with him. They echo long after the conversation ends. He may quote something you said in passing, or recall the exact way you reacted to something months ago. That's because, to him, every detail is a piece of who you are, and he treasures that. In a world where people often overlook the subtle, being remembered in the quiet, small ways means everything. It's not about the size of what you said. It's about the size of the space it takes up in his heart. 2. He makes time for you, even when he's busy. When a man is emotionally drawn to you, he finds ways to include you in his life, no matter how packed his schedule may be. He could be juggling work, responsibilities, or personal goals, but he still carves out moments to check in, call, meet, or simply let you know that you're on his mind. It's not about having endless free time. It's about choosing to prioritize someone who matters, even when time is scarce. This doesn't always show up in grand, dramatic gestures. Sometimes, it's a 5-minute voice note during his lunch break, a quick goodnight message after a long day, or rearranging plans just so he can see you for a little while. These choices, small as they seem, speak volumes. They reveal where his heart leans. In a world full of distractions and obligations, consistency becomes a rare form of affection. And if he's consistently showing up for you despite his commitments, that's not coincidence. It's care. When a man is emotionally invested, He doesn't make you feel like you're competing with his life. He invites you into it. Even during chaotic periods, he makes sure you don't feel forgotten. His time becomes a gift, not because it's abundant, but because he gives it freely to you. 3. He listens deeply and attentively. When a man is emotionally drawn to you, his way of listening goes far beyond nodding or waiting for his turn to speak. He listens with intention, absorbing your words, your tone, and even the feelings you're not saying out loud. You can feel it in the way his eyes focus on you, how he doesn't interrupt, and how he responds in ways that show he truly understood what you meant. This kind of listening makes you feel seen, heard, and valued. He's not distracted by his phone or lost in his own thoughts. In that moment, you are his priority. Whether you're talking about your dreams, your bad day, or something random and silly, he treats your words with care. He notices the shift in your voice when something's bothering you. He picks up on what excites you. He doesn't just hear what's being said. He hears what's underneath. This level of attentiveness is rare. It shows emotional maturity and genuine interest. It means he wants to understand you, not just on the surface, but at your core. When a man listens like that, it's not just a habit, it's a reflection of how deeply connected he feels to you. 4. He gets protective over your feelings. When a man is emotionally drawn to you, one of the clearest signs is how protective he becomes over your emotional well-being. He doesn't just care about how you're doing on the surface. He's deeply concerned with how you feel inside. If something or someone upsets you, it bothers him too. Not because he wants to control you or fix everything, but because your pain matters to him. Your hurt becomes his concern, and your happiness becomes something he genuinely wants to preserve. This protectiveness often shows up in subtle ways. He may step in when he senses someone is treating you unfairly, or gently remove you from situations that could emotionally drain you. He might not always have the right words, but he's present. He wants to be the person you can lean on, someone who not only respects your emotions but also defends them. He becomes more mindful of how his own actions affect you, avoiding things that could cause you unnecessary stress or sadness. It's not about being possessive. It's about being emotionally attuned. He's careful with your heart because he values it. That protective instinct doesn't come from obligation. It comes from emotional investment, from care that runs deep, and from wanting you to feel safe, not just physically, but emotionally too. 5. He opens up about personal struggles. When a man is emotionally drawn to you, he begins to open the doors to parts of himself that he normally keeps guarded, especially his personal struggles. This level of vulnerability is not easy for most men, especially those who are used to carrying emotional burdens silently. But with you, he feels safe enough to let those walls down. He shares stories of his past, his insecurities, his fears, or the things that still weigh on him, not to gain sympathy, but to let you see the real, unfiltered version of him. Opening up like this is a deep sign of trust. It means he's not just trying to impress you or keep things on the surface. He wants you to know him beyond the smile, beyond the achievements, beyond the strong exterior. And more importantly, he wants you to still accept him, even with the cracks that come with being human. This kind of sharing creates emotional intimacy. It's his way of saying, I trust you with my pain. He may speak quietly, or even hesitate at times, but the fact that his opening up at all is proof that you hold a special place in his heart. When a man shares his struggles, it's not weakness. It's a powerful sign that is emotionally invested and sees you as someone he can be fully himself with. 6. He mirrors your emotions and energy. When a man is emotionally drawn to you, he naturally starts mirroring your emotions and energy, not out of habit, but out of deep connection. If you're happy, he lights up with you. If you're upset, his mood shifts because he feels your tension. He becomes emotionally in tune with you, almost as if your feelings directly influence his own. It's not something he forces. It just happens because your emotional state matters to him. You'll notice he becomes more attentive when you're quiet, more playful when you're laughing, and more calm when you need peace. It's as though his emotional rhythm adjusts to yours. This kind of mirroring isn't about imitation. It's about alignment. When a man truly feels connected to you, his empathy becomes instinctive. He starts to reflect your emotional world because he's living in it with you. This unspoken connection strengthens your bond. It shows that he's not only observing you, he's emotionally engaging with your experience. And when someone mirrors your energy this way, it makes you feel understood without having to explain yourself. It's subtle, but powerful proof that your presence moves him on a deep, emotional level. 7. He checks in on you without reason. When a man is emotionally drawn to you, he doesn't need a specific reason to reach out. He just does. He checks in not because something is wrong, but because he genuinely wants to know how you are. It could be a simple message in the middle of a busy day, a quick call just to hear your voice, or a random thinking of you that seems to come out of nowhere. These moments may seem small, but they are full of meaning. He's not waiting for you to ask for attention or explain why you need support. He offers it before you even realize you do. His check-ins show that you're on his mind, not just during conversations or planned meetups, but even in the ordinary, quiet spaces of his day. You've become part of his thoughts, and he reaches out to stay close, even if life is hectic. This kind of care is consistent and unforced. It shows that his connection to you isn't based on convenience. It's based on genuine emotional presence. When a man checks in without any prompt, it's his way of saying, I care about how you're doing. Always, even when there's nothing to fix or solve. 8. He gets affected by your mood shifts. When a man is emotionally drawn to you, your mood becomes something he naturally tunes into, and it impacts him more than he might admit. If you're sad, withdrawn, or upset, he feels a shift within himself too. He might not always know exactly what's wrong, but he senses the change and carries it with him. Your emotional state matters to him, not out of obligation, but because he's emotionally connected to you. You might notice him becoming quieter when you're not yourself, or trying harder to make you laugh when you're feeling low. Even if he doesn't say much, he's paying attention. He absorbs your emotional energy and instinctively wants to make things better. And when you're happy, it lifts him too. Your joy becomes his joy. Your peace becomes his calm. This emotional sensitivity is not about being overly dramatic or reactive. It's about presence. When someone else's mood has the power to affect your own, it's because you care on a deeper level. He doesn't disconnect or brush it off. Instead, he moves closer emotionally, trying to share the weight or the light of whatever you're feeling. That silent empathy is a strong sign of emotional attachment. 9. He values your opinions and his decisions. When a man is emotionally drawn to you, your opinions begin to carry real weight in his life. Whether it's a big decision like switching jobs or a small choice like what to wear to an event, he seeks your thoughts because he values your perspective. He doesn't just listen out of politeness. He genuinely considers what you say and factors it into his choices. This isn't about asking for permission or approval. It's about respect and emotional connection. Your voice matters to him. He sees you as someone whose insights, values, and intuition can help guide him. And when you offer your thoughts, he doesn't dismiss them. He reflects on them, sometimes even adjusting his course because he trusts your judgment. When a man includes you in his thought process, it shows that you're not just a part of his heart. You're becoming part of his world. Your presence is influencing how he moves through life, how he plans, and what he prioritizes. And is not doing it to impress you. He does it because your opinion feels like home, grounding, honest, and important. It's a quiet, consistent sign that his emotional bond with you runs deep. 10. He's vulnerable with you. When a man is emotionally drawn to you, one of the most telling signs is his willingness to be vulnerable in your presence. Vulnerability doesn't just mean sharing sad stories. It means letting you see the parts of him that aren't polished or perfect. He opens up about his fears, doubts, dreams, and even past mistakes. He lets his guard down because with you, he doesn't feel the need to pretend or hide behind strength. This kind of openness takes trust. For many men, vulnerability is something they protect fiercely. But with someone they feel deeply connected to, that protective barrier begins to soften. He might talk about a painful memory he's never shared, admit when he's unsure of something, or express emotions he usually keeps locked inside. These are quiet acts of bravery and acts of intimacy. Being vulnerable means he's not trying to impress you with a facade. He wants to be real, raw, and honest. And more importantly, he trusts that you'll hold that truth with care. When a man allows you to see his soul, it's not a casual gesture. It's a clear, powerful sign that his heart is drawn to you in a way that goes far beyond the surface. 11. He stays consistent in his efforts. When a man is emotionally drawn to you, one of the most powerful signs is his consistency. He doesn't just show up when it's convenient or when he wants something. He shows up because he cares, again and again. His words match his actions. His promises aren't empty. He checks in. He makes plans. He follows through. Not just for a day or a week, but over time. Consistency is the foundation of trust. And when a man feels something real for you, he understands that emotional connection requires more than occasional affection. It needs reliability. He doesn't disappear when life gets busy. He doesn't send mixed signals. Instead, he shows up with steady energy, proving that his interest in you is grounded and sincere. You don't have to wonder where you stand with him. His presence becomes predictable in the best way. Not boring, but secure. He puts effort into making you feel important, understood, and safe in the bond you're building. And he does it not because he's trying to win you for a moment, but because he wants to keep you long-term. When a man is consistent, it's his way of saying, you matter every single day. 12. He notices changes in your behavior. When a man is emotionally drawn to you, he becomes sensitive to even the smallest changes in your behavior. He notices when your tone is a little different, when your replies feel shorter, or when your usual spark seems dimmed. You don't need to spell things out. He simply picks up on the shift because he's tuned into you on a deeper emotional level. This awareness doesn't come from habit. It comes from care. He's paying attention, not just to what you say, but to how you say it, how you move, how you carry your emotions. If you suddenly go quiet or seem distant, he won't ignore it. He might gently ask if something's wrong, or adjust his approach to give you comfort without making you feel pressured. This kind of attentiveness is rare. It means he sees you as more than just a partner or a friend. He sees you as someone worth emotionally protecting. It shows that he's not just interested in who you are when you're happy and bright, but also in understanding and supporting you when you're not at your best. When he notices your shifts without needing to be told, it's a clear sign that your presence matters deeply to him. 13. He makes sacrifices just to see you happy. When a man is emotionally drawn to you, your happiness becomes something he values deeply, often more than his own comfort or convenience. He begins to make sacrifices, both big and small, not out of obligation, but because bringing joy to your life brings joy to his. These sacrifices aren't always dramatic. Sometimes they're quiet choices that show he's putting you first in meaningful ways. He might rearrange his schedule just to spend time with you, give up something he enjoys so you can have what you need, or go out of his way to make your day easier. He might even compromise on things he once felt strongly about because he recognizes how important your happiness is in his life. These aren't done with the expectation of praise. They're done with heart. True emotional connection comes with a sense of care that goes beyond words. When he sacrifices his time, energy, or preferences for your sake, it's a silent declaration of love. He sees your smile as a reward, your peace as a priority. And in those sacrifices, whether you notice them all or not, he's telling you, your joy matters to me, because you matter to me. 14. He respects your silence and your voice. When a man is emotionally drawn to you, he learns to respect both your silence and your voice. He understands that connection isn't built only through constant conversation. It's also felt in the quiet moments, the pauses, the spaces where you simply exist without needing to explain. He doesn't rush you to speak when you're not ready, nor does he ignore your silence. Instead, he holds space for it, patiently and without pressure. At the same time, when you do speak, whether you're expressing joy, pain, anger, or uncertainty, he listens with intention. He doesn't dismiss your emotions or talk over you. He values what you say, not just the content, but the courage it takes to speak your truth. Your voice matters to him, and he shows that by giving it room, weight, and respect. This balance is rare. Many hear only when it's convenient or speak only to be heard. but he understands both your quiet and your expression. He sees the strength in your stillness and the beauty in your words. When a man respects both your silence and your voice, he's not just interested, he's emotionally present. He's listening to who you are, with or without sound. 15. He makes you feel emotionally safe. When a man is emotionally drawn to you, one of the most powerful gifts he gives is emotional safety. It means you can be yourself without fear. Whether that's showing your vulnerability, sharing your fears, expressing joy, or admitting mistakes. You don't feel judged, dismissed, or criticized when you open up to him. Instead, you feel accepted, understood, and supported. He doesn't use your emotions against you, nor does he invalidate your feelings. He listens without defensiveness, comforts without conditions, and stands by you even when things get messy. You can trust that your heart is safe with him, because he handles it with care, patience, and kindness. You don't have to walk on eggshells, hide your opinions, or hold back your tears. With him, your emotional truth is welcome. Emotional safety is the foundation of real intimacy. And when a man makes you feel that safety, it's because he values the connection more than control. He's not trying to change you. He's trying to understand you. And in that understanding, you find peace. You feel seen, not just loved. You feel protected, not just admired. That's how you know his feelings run deep, because your soul feels safe in his presence.